Hey team, my name's Sarah. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be making the teddy dress pattern, which is one of my latest patterns, and I'm so proud of it. If you enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making it in this gorgeous brown linen from Fabric Box here in New Zealand, and it is going to be for my beautiful sister. Let's go. The very first step in this pattern is to create the waist ties. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, these bad boys take forever. They are so long, so beautiful, do not get me wrong, but honestly, just excessive in length. So, what I recommend is getting one of those small metal bias binding makers that you can just get from your local craft store. That will save you heaps of time. Here I am doing it manually. I'm just folding them in half lengthwise, ironing, and then folding each edge in to meet that middle crease. Here's a little preview of what that should be looking like so far. Don't forget to tuck that short end under so that the raw edges are hidden. Give the tie a final press, and then we're going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch all the way around. This will help not only for durability, but also when your dress goes through the wash, it just means that it won't need as much of an iron on those ties as if you were to not top stitch it. Time consuming, I know, but trust me, it'll all be worth it. Yay, and they are complete. What a marathon, but don't worry, now on to the fun stuff. I use the same technique to create the loops. Here I am cutting them. If you haven't got the pattern handy or haven't marked your increments, there are roughly around 2 inches per loop. Next up, we're going to baste those loops to the side panel. Now, if you're working with a thick fabric, I suggest that you layer your loops like so instead. That avoids having too much bulk in your side seam. Now, there's the option for either 5 loops or 6 loops. I always go for the 5 for my body length, but just be mindful of that because there are 6 notches, but you do not need to attach every single one of the loops. Just do whatever suits your body length. Next up are our pockets, so I'm just getting the right side of my pocket here. Not that you can tell with this fabric, but the right side's facing the right side of the front side panel, and I'm just attaching, and then I'm going to stitch in place. Here I am doing the same to the other side. I'm just making sure that they're both completely aligned with the notches and with each other. You'll then need to attach the other pockets, right sides facing once again, to those side panels, making sure that they are aligned with the notches, and then just double check with that other panel that we just attached the pockets to, just to make sure that they line up perfectly. Once you've stitched these in place, give them a press with an iron so that they're nice and flat. What I sometimes like to do is clip just above the pocket at the top and the bottom and press that seam open. Okay, next up is quite possibly my favorite part of making the entire dress, and it is attaching all of the panels together. Honestly, the way this comes together is like pattern magic. It is just so exciting. So I've got all of my panels right sides facing, and I'm just following the pattern instructions as to which panel goes where. Just be mindful of that note around the front side panel and which side of the curve attaches to the front and which one attaches to the back, because this can be a mistake that can easily happen. So just a heads up on that. Not long after I filmed this video, I actually invested in some clips instead of pins, and oh my gosh, what an absolute game changer they are. I can't believe I've been pinning for all these years. I love them so much. This is the panel that I was referring to earlier, so the part that sits slightly higher is the part that attaches to the front side. Okay, hopefully that helps. Here's a little preview of what it should be looking like. So we've got right sides facing and all of our panels are attached, making sure that we've matched them all at the notches. We've left an opening for that pocket, and we're going to sew all the way around and down. I've finished sewing all of my panels together. How satisfying. And I'm just finishing them off with an overlocker now. This is an optional step. You might want to use a zigzag on your machine, or you might just want to press those seams open. It really depends on what fabric you've chosen and how much it frays. There is an option to do French seams around the entire thing, but you will need to add seam allowance if that's something that you're wanting to do. Now, if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it is to give every single seam a press once you've finished it. Honestly, it just makes a world of difference. Okay, we are almost there. So we have got all of the insides finished now. So you could have done a French seam, overlock, zigzag. There's not really any rules. I've overlocked mine. So you'd have all of your pieces like that. I'm just gonna have a quick little try on to see what it looks like. I'm just curious, see how the fit's going. It's always a good idea at this stage to check the fit before you add the zip or anything like that. A couple of people that tested the pattern and other people at times need to take a little bit in here, so it's always a good idea to check at this point before you put all of the rest of the parts in. Cute. That is looking so good. My sister suits quite different colors to me. She's an autumn and I'm a summer. You might even notice as I took that off how much nicer I look in the purple, but I know that Vanessa's gonna look so beautiful in this and I cannot wait to see her in it. Okay, now to attach the zipper, we're going to open it up and then we're going to make sure that our zipper teeth are facing in towards the bulk of the dress, and we need to check that the zip at the top can actually fold down a little bit to allow for when the binding is attached. Check that both sides of the zip are matching and then attach. Now, I didn't go into much detail there, but there are so many YouTube videos that show how to attach zips, so definitely worth a look if you're a beginner sewist. for the binding, just at the very end, I'm folding it down and giving it a little bit of a press. This is going to be what sits up against the edge of the zip. So I'm just lining that up with the very edge and pinning it in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all of my pins around the binding where that first little crease is, making sure that I'm lining it up with the neckline. Once that's all pinned in place, I am going to go ahead and stitch in the crease that's closest to the raw edge of the neckline. Once I've done this, I like to give it a bit of a press. This just makes it a lot easier for the next step of the binding when we're going to fold it all the way over and underneath the neckline. Once you've done this, fold the binding under so that it's completely invisible when the right sides are out. Sew that in place along the very edge of the binding, and you are almost done. Only hemming left to go. Unfortunately, my camera battery died and I only had hemming left to go, but I'm hoping that the instructions in the booklet will be detailed enough for you to follow as to how to hem the skirt. She's all finished and I absolutely love her. I literally have 7 teddies myself. I don't really suit this colour that much, but I know my sister's going to look absolutely incredible in it. But there she is. Just a reminder, if you enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!